In today's DIY, I'll be replacing a battery inside this Remington HC5800. You'll have to plug this plug out. It's a little bit pain, so I used a knife. Once I got the point in and managed to pluck it out a little bit, I simply pulled it out. Then you'll need to unscrew this screw, and you will need something to get the cover off. In this case, I used the blunt tool in the knife, and you need to go around the edges. And once you have both sides off, you can simply pull it off. But as you can see, it's not that easy, so you may need to wiggle it a little bit. Now it is dirty, but I'll clean this mess in the end. Then you have 4 screws to unscrew, and you also have 2 in the back. But before you can take this out of the casing, you have to take the blade off or unlock it, and to do that you'll need to squeeze both plastic pieces by the spring, and then you can take out the screws. Then simply take it out, just like that. And now you need to unclip these 4 clips to take the cover off. Now one clip was already broken in my case, but that's okay. And now to take out the battery, you'll need to push the wires back in so you can actually pull the PCB and the battery out. This is the battery type, sorry for the low quality image. And this is the new battery that I got from AliExpress. It's not the same one, but it should do just fine. Now we have to desolder 2 contact points to get the battery out, because the contact points on the battery are spot welded, and I don't want to mess with the battery itself. And in case you do mess with the battery, I suggest you do it outside, because it can catch on fire. This is me trying to desolder the battery contact, and as you can see, I'm not as successful, but it's okay, because I don't do this a lot. And this is in real time, just so you can see how long it actually takes if you don't have any skills with desoldering. I used the knife between the PCB and the battery, hoping that the weight of the knife would pull the battery down, but it wasn't the case. And also, you should take note how the battery holder was positioned and how the battery was placed, so the plus and the minus. And as you can see, the contacts are spot welded, they don't come off, so you have to find something else that you'll use as a contact with the new battery. Now this is not needed, but it makes it a lot easier if you can just put a new contact piece like this one inside. This is a piece of a coax cable. I simply used some pliers to squash it down a little bit so it fit inside the holes, and it could also fit between the plastic holder and the contact. Now this is just sped up so you can see how I've done it. You maybe see it already, but what I've done is basically position the battery in front of the screen, which is not good. So at this moment I knew I fucked up. So I had to desolder the two wires and put them on the other side. And because now the wire is not as long as previously, it gets hot really fast. So you should use some tweezers or something else so you can hold the piece in place. Now as you can see, the battery is working, and this is not percentages that it shows, it is how many minutes is left, and maximum is 120 minutes. So it's about 70% full. Now I just have to position the battery back in, put the cover on, clip it, put the charging port back in, and you need to move the wires away from the center hole so you can put the screw back in, the last one, which is the big one. Then screw back everything up. And at this point I cleaned everything and lubed the blades. Looks nice, it works, and so does the charging, as you can see. The only issue that I have is that this plastic piece on the top dims the light a lot. Now for the final touch, you have to clip it in, so you have to slide it a little bit and then just push everything down. Put the screw back in, and finally put the cap back in. The cap has a little groove, it's not visible in this video, but it only fits one way, and it follows the curve of the plastic body. Now because my knife did a little bit of damage, I simply rubbed it off, so it's nice and smooth. Final test. As you can see, it's barely visible, but it is working, and so is the charging. And the project, well done.